welcome to a new episode of The Decisive Connection, or TDC. And I'm your host, Brett Deister. And if you could please subscribe to the podcast on all your favorite podcasting apps. Leave a 5-star review if you can. It does help with the rankings as well. But this week I have Simon Cox with me, and he is an expert, or he understands really well laryngoscopes. And that's where we talk about today. It's going to be laryngoscopes, which if you're in the market for one, or if you actually need to understand, this is the podcast episode for you. But welcome to the show, Simon.
Hi, well, thanks, Brett. Thanks for inviting me. Great to be here.
As always, and the first question I ask all my guests is, are you a coffee or tea drinker?
I'm definitely a coffee drinker, that I can assure you.
Sure, like you only drink coffee? You
Pretty
only
much,
drink
yeah.
Okay.
I can't really get into tea. I've tried it, but yeah, I'm just a pure coffee guy. So yeah, it's a short answer, I'm afraid, but it's the right answer.
It's your answer, so can't fault you for that. But anyways, I gave just a little brief introduction to you, but can you give a little bit more about what you do to our audience?
Yeah, sure. My name's Simon Cox. I'm the International Territory Manager for Timesco Healthcare Limited. We're a manufacturer of single-use and reusable laryngoscopes. Yes, we've been established since 1964. We're based in the UK, Essex, London in the UK, and we have many global distributors and business partners. And currently, we're working with our friends in Codan for America, which is really exciting times. And yeah, hopefully we'll have a chat about some laryngoscopes.
Nice. And can you share the history of basically the family of laryngoscopes that you guys handle? I mean, you've already given us a brief history about Timesco, but can you give us a brief history on the Callisto family of laryngoscopes?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Callisto was generated from the need in the market for single-use laryngoscope blades. It was around the early 2000s, I'm going to say. We originally designed the concept of Callisto. So we took what was our reusable blades and we tried to replicate and mimic the qualities and feels of our reusable system and emphasize that in our single use. So we launched the Callisto Macintosh blades, I say early 2000. There's been some evolution, some changes, as with everything, every product. And then we introduced the Callisto single-use handles. And then again, there's been some evolution and changes on that, which I'm happy to discuss with you. And then, yeah, we've rolled out. So we have Macintosh profiles. A Macintosh blade is a curved blade. I've conveniently got one here, and it's designed to show the larynx by placing the tip of the blade into the vallecula, and you just lift it slightly to get a great view. We do Miller blades as well. Again, happen to have one here. This is the smallest one we do, which is the Miller 000. You'll notice that it's a straight blade. And this is really designed for just to directly lift the epiglottis. It's pretty much favored by pediatric anaesthetists. As I say, this is the smallest one we do, the 000. So if I sort of try and do a comparison, you can see this is a Macintosh, and then this is the Miller. So you've got the different variants there. We do a McCoy. Sorry, Brett, I just had a breath there. We do a McCoy blade, which is used for difficult intubation. I don't know if you guys can see here, but as I press down, the lever lifts up. So what that does again is that's designed to basically lift the tip of the epiglottis, so you get a great view with the larynx without using excessive force. All of our single-use blades come with a 4mm core, clear acrylic guide, and that just transport the light from the handle through to the distal part of the blade.
And so is the Mac actually the most expensive one? Because, you know, Macintoshes are always expensive, right?
Unlike Macintosh, our prices are favorable, and for the many. No, we're that's a good question. Yeah, no, we're very well priced in the market. Pleasantly priced, in fact. Quality over cost.
You got to ask the question when you always put a Mac somewhere in the product. Is it more expensive than anything else?
It was a good question because, to be honest, I didn't quite get it at first. And then when you asked me, I was like, Why are we talking about price? But no, yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah.
And what has been the evolution of the laryngoscope profile? Has it been like all the diversifying the actual different styles of laryngoscopes? Has it been innovation somewhere? Like, what's that all about?
Yeah, I mean, I think laryngoscopes as such hasn't really changed dramatically. It's more about the materials that can be used, the way that the metal can be folded. So obviously you imagine that this particular blade here, which is a single-use one, this obviously goes into the oral cavity. So, you've got to be careful where you finish, so there aren't any sharp edges. You've got to make sure as well that it's clearly identified. And you've got a slightly lower profile on the back foot of the blade here now, whereas previous sort of connotations of it have been more of a square-edged. Again, just different manufacturing processes. And, as with everything, the anatomy in people are changing, different size patients. And we're very, very sort of proud of the fact that we do listen and work with clinicians. So we understand their concerns. A good example probably would be our single-use handle. So this is one of our many 3 sizes single-use handles. Okay, and you'll notice one of the clever little things we've done here is we've flared the bottom out. Doesn't really mean a lot, but if you put the traditional ones are straight, so if you put it on the table, it can fall and it can roll off. At least with this, it's fairly well positioned. We also, with our single-use handles, have preloaded the batteries. Okay, so traditionally, the batteries in these were medium Cs. Okay, so we've now changed that to this type of watch battery system. Okay, now these will come preloaded. And then, again, that's just by listening, sitting down with a blank bit of paper and saying, okay, what can we do that's slightly different? So there's, to sort of help you understand this really, there's a hook and pin system. So the ISO 7376 for the blade and handle. I'm trying to make sure you can see this okay with me looking. So you get that click, 2 ball bearings on each side of the blade. Okay, so you get a nice firm closure. Yep. And then you've got there a very nice clean outline. Okay, so there you go again. Now you'll notice there's a line on each side of the handle. This is the way we designed it. We do a clamshell design. So what we effectively do is we put the two pieces together, and then these are ultrasonically welded, and we place the metal bar in the middle. I don't know if you can just see that, okay? What we don't do is we don't drill it and fill it, because then that can cause a little bit of structure integrity. So this way you can put it on there and it will do quite happily a nice test. Okay, you've got a good solid connection there.
All right. And I mean, is the reason why the battery was put in there already is because with people using it, we're like, I don't want to fumble with this and try to figure out how to put a battery in it, and I just need to use it quickly. Is that like
yeah, exactly. So single use is exactly that. It's single patient use. The idea being you grab it out of a pack, you use it, you can test it. Traditionally, we used to have. I have got one here somewhere. A reusable handle, and they're powered by C-size batteries. So that was the height, and then obviously with the changes of light output, LEDs, a bit more of a so with the introduction of better LED bulbs in there, you can have a better power source. So therefore, we've managed to minimize the size of the batteries, making it more economical, more environmentally friendly as well, and lighter. This is a single-use product. Traditionally, these were made from either metal or they were from a different type of plastic. So we've been quite intuitive, I think, in our design. We've got 3 different sets. So you've got, this is called the compact, and you've got the V2, okay? And then you've got our pediatric offering here, which is the AA. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this into focus while we're talking.
And there will be any feature type of innovations, like, I don't know, tethering it to a phone so you can see it better? I mean, is there any other type of smart things that are going to happen with this?
There's video out there, but I mean, this is the traditional system. So this is really kind of like your go-to product, So if you need to intubate a patient, so maybe EMS may not have the facilities for video. If you don't have a video, this is like the traditional, the conventional way of intubating, shall we say. Yeah, video does have its place. But yeah, for now, this will, this is what we're currently offering.
All right. And are they actually easy to assemble, or are the single use, I'm pretty sure, are already assembled or pre-assembled? Is it kind of like a Lego system, or is it like, what is it all about?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you can get separates, so you can do just the handle. So these come in a box of 25. You can see that we clearly marked the single use on there. The reason we put the single use on the bottom is obviously when you're using it, this is the kind of the business end. The blades also come in packs of 10. So again, you can buy Macintosh sizes 0 up to size 5, Miller 000 up to size Miller 4, and Eclipse sizes 3s and 4s. And we also can and do provide them in a grab pack. So you can see there the blade and handle are clearly connected together. And if you want to test that everything's working, you just press down and you get the illumination coming through on the packet there. We've also got a really simplified tear system on the side. So this is a one shot. So you just tear it there and the product comes out. Okay.
All right. And what are the differences between the various blades? I know you said you have Miller, you have Mac. Is there any other type of specialties as well with that? And you said the Mac was curved. Is the Miller a little curved, or is it straight? Like, how is that?
Yeah, sorry. The Millers are very much a straight blade. Okay. Now we do a Miller 4, which is obviously slightly larger. But this is really used for viewing the vocal cords, just directly lifting the epiglottis. Because obviously there's a different anatomy with pediatrics and adults. So this is a nice product here. You've then also got your adult Macintosh blades, okay? So we have the Eclipse blade, which is a tilting elevating blade there, okay? We do some others. We do a Robert Sewell and a Seward, but traditionally I think we're finding more and more those kind of blades are being moved out of the market, and there's more Macintosh and Millers. Definitely Macintosh is definitely one of our sellers, big sellers.
Gotcha. And then how many sizes are available for all these products?
Sure. So there's 6 sizes in Macintosh. 0 up to size 00 up to size 5. Miller's 7. So there's 000 up to Miller 4. You got me now. And Eclipses are sizes 3s and 4s. So all in all, I think it's 15 sizes on those 3 product ranges. You asked me earlier about how they connect. I didn't answer that. Apologies. So basically, you got the hook bar on the foot there. That goes in. You get a little click, and then that activates and then energizes the light. And then to take it off, a little trick someone taught me was you put your thumb underneath their blade. Just make sure you can see this. Push forward, and it comes out. Okay.
Gotcha. So basically, for a lot of these, is basically Audible like notifications that you put it in right, so you can know that you actually put it in right without like guessing anymore.
Yeah. I mean, they're all ISO 7376 compatible. So basically, that's to do on the tolerances. So you make sure you just get that click first, then you drop it in. So 2006, we launched the No Touch on the Callisto, and this is because this is ISO 7376 compatible. So it can also be used with one of our reusable handles. Okay. And then once you finish the intubation, it stops halfway. It's called no touch. So instead of the tip of the blade, which could be contaminated after it's been used, can touch the handle. Yeah. Okay. This system just stops it. So as you drop, it stops it halfway. And that's no touch. So but again, with most of our blades, but the single use handle, it doesn't really matter as much because it's only single use. Okay. So that's okay as it is, but with it being used on some of our reusable handles, we do have it so it has the no touch function on there, which is we've just elevated the foot of the blade slightly.
Gotcha. I mean, for all this is for like the differences between like single use and reusable, because you did talk about reusable. So are there actually like differences between that because of the way reusables are used between the single use? Is there like that type of difference?
Yeah, I mean, traditionally, obviously, reusables are exactly that. So they're used on one patient, and then they go off and be sterilized, reprocessed, and then decontaminated, and they're used again another time. Single use is effectively where you don't have that facility or that opportunity or maybe that ability to turn around as quickly. So single use is perfect for that. So one time use, and then you dispose of it.
Gotcha. And then what are the products used in the NICU?
Okay, for our products, I would say definitely you're talking Miller 000 or Miller 000 blade. Okay, and this is the great thing: you can either put it on one of our traditional AA or mini pediatric handles, or it will also fit on one of our compact handles as well. Okay, so that I would say that would be primarily the Miller type blade, definitely with a single use handle. Again, with it being a smaller size patient, probably the Callisto mini handle.
Gotcha. And then what products are generally used with first responders?
They'll have a whole kit and caboodle of product. But from what our offering would be, I would say, again, we can do a range of blades. So from the smallest pediatric blades all the way up into the largest Macintosh size 5s, with a selection of handles, or again, they can choose to have the set, so they can have the blade and handle in a set as well. I think it's more about having the ability for choice, and it kind of goes back to the point I was making earlier, where if you are carrying a bag around with all those products, it needs to be slightly not so heavy, shall we say, if you're running up and down some stairs or wherever you're going.
And what products are included in the hospital crash cart?
Again, they'll have an airway an airway tray, apologies. And on that, there'll be a range of products, but I would say ranging, if it's an adult, probably Macintosh 4 and 5 blade with some single-use handles or some handles, or again, they can have the set. So it's really about the choice of what they have in that airway tray already, and then we can sort of work to the customer's needs and requirements. They can have the sets as well, which again, works really well because the blade and handle are already connected. And as I showed you earlier, you've got the kind of easy tear system. So that comes out, and then you can just pull the blade and handle out of the system as well.
Gotcha. And then are there any new products in development that you can share? I know we briefly talked about it, but there anything in the pipeline that is coming out soonish?
Yeah, there are some products coming out at the moment. I can't really talk about it because we're not in that position, I'm afraid. I was hoping to say that we can. It just means, Brett, unfortunately, you might have to invite me back.
That's fair. Yes, we'll invite you back when you have new exciting products in laryngoscopes.
Yeah.
And then where can people find you online?
They can find us at timesco.com. We are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. So yeah, we have quite a good social presence. And again, if you're looking for this particular product in the USA, look at Codan.
All right. Any final thoughts for listeners?
Just thank you very much for listening to me. I hope I've given you a bit of an insight into laryngoscopes. Again, we could go on and on and on, but hopefully you have a better understanding. And yeah, thanks very much. Thanks for listening.
Anytime. Thank you, Simon, for joining TDC and sharing your knowledge on laryngoscopes.
You're more than welcome. Nice to be invited. Thank you. First one I've done. So yeah.
Well, it was a great job, but thank you for listening to TDC. As always, please subscribe to TDC on all your favorite podcasting apps. Leave a 5-star review. It really does help with the rankings. Enjoy us next week to talk about what's going on in the medical field. All right, guys, stay safe and see you next week. Later.